As long as that's the only airplane I crash, I'm doing good.
You have made me very angry.
Well, welcome to Max's Models. I'm Max. Hey everybody, so it was raining today. I didn't go out to the Tarbis for a while, so I decided to start on that little Kopro L-4. Turns out Kopro, or Kopro, however you say it, is actually what used to be KP. They've rebranded. It's had several other names, so I thought it felt a little familiar. So I opened up the box and looked at the instructions and laid everything out, and there's only 3 runner trees if you include the clear parts. I thought, well, it's 1/72nd scale, a little small, but I can work on it here in the desk. And moldings look pretty clean. The parts are not numbered on the runner tree, but they are numbered on the instruction sheet, so they're very easy to find. Started off with the cockpit, which is surprisingly detailed for this tiny scale, although not 100% accurate. But one thing that is going to be confusing a lot of people is it looks like you have 2 sets of rudder pedals in front of the front seat, which you kind of do. And now I've flown Piper Cubs from the front seat and the back, the J3s, which are very similar airplanes. And the reason it's laid out this way is you actually do have to put, if you're flying from the back seat, you have to put your legs on each side of the front seat to reach the rudder pedals, which are just up around the very edge of the front seat. The cockpit is that tight. Big as I was and wearing dingo boots, I was just barely able to do it, but I was able to do it. And if you want to hyper-accurize the cockpit, you would remove the middle bar. I did trim it down so it would sit lower, but at least they kind of more or less got it in the right places. I recall they really should be closer to the sides of the front of the seat, but still, I'm kind of impressed they went that far. But I pre-painted some stuff, obviously, and then when I started putting things together, it got pretty touchy pretty quick. Small scale and everything. Not really very many alignment holes or pins or anything. In fact, there were holes in the front seat section with the control stick and everything. It wasn't hard to place stuff. It's so small, but it got touchy. The engine is okay, but a little tight, but it fit good and it looked okay. So got that painted. The fun really began after I got the fuselage halves together. And one mistake I made, I should have gone and gotten my Tamiya thin paint so I could just hold it in place and run it down the seam line. But I was using that blue Revell tube paint that I got in the metal tube. And it works really good. Stuff's great. I love it. It's just like the stuff that comes in the blue squeeze bottle. But a little of it oozed out when I squeezed the sides together. And as small as this thing is with my big hands, I wound up just getting glue smears all over the place. So brilliant. Got the instrument panel, the fits and everything are okay. A little trouble clamping the engine together, but I managed to do it. And that's really just more because of just how tight and small everything is. So then I put a green primer coat, brushed on some acrylic green primer coat, let everything harden, and came back later. And the next thing, of course, were the clear parts, which the wing and the greenhouse and everything, it's all integral. And I tried to pre-paint it and everything. I just using a toothpick and a brush, and it's acrylic. So I used a toothbrush to move the excess. It was just so tiny. And what I didn't realize was you have a 3-piece internal roll cage you have to build and insert. And at first I tried inserting the rear piece, gluing it in place and building on that, but it didn't line up right. I wound up having to build the thing externally. It didn't seem to exactly fit the way, be the right length for what they were calling for in the instruction sheet. And there's a little question about the wiggle room on the cockpit. Without alignment pins, I'm like, nah, 100% sure that this is exactly in the right place. So I just made my best guess. Finally got it built, got it in place, got some paint on everything before I put the green parts on. And of course the wings are an integral part of the green parts. Now, one problem you are going to run into, no matter how you do this, you're going to have issues because these things just sit there and they don't exactly fit perfectly. There's gaps. I tried putting the side windows in first, letting them harden, then put on the top with the wings, and then put the windshield on last. And while I was just trying to hold a wee bit of pressure because it didn't want to sit quite right, and that happened. But fortunately, I was able to fix it. Of course, now the thing's just an unholy mess. And this is the kind of thing, of course, I'm using tube glue instead of the white glue on the clear parts because I'm really worried about how strongly they're going to bond because they support the wing. And hindsight being 2020, this is the kind of thing, it would be an all-day affair just to properly mount the wings and windows. I'm doing kind of a little, build as we go here, sort of. I thought it'd be a one-day job, probably going to be a two-day job. And, but I did get everything on there. And then next, it was trying to get the wings and the horizontal stabilizers to align and level. And it's surprisingly difficult because since it's all balanced on that greenhouse, things can get cattywampus real easy. This is not a beginner kit. This is definitely, even though it's actually a cool little kit. I'm not complaining about it. It's just very, very tiny and fiddly. And you look at the subject matter. This is the way the airplane's built. This is kind of the way they have to do it. So if they could have stamped out that whole greenhouse as one big piece, that would have made life a little bit simpler. And by that, I mean a lot simpler. But the way they did it makes perfect sense. I'm not criticizing. It's just the way it's got to be. So, but I did finally basically get it in there, less thumbprints. Then getting everything straight, getting it and just getting the angle on it and everything. So now I've got it hardening, and I'm just going to leave it overnight. That's that. I was coming back and forth all day long, so I was, yeah. This is I whipped this thing out of the box, looked at the two runner trees and the clear parts. Oh, this will go together easy. So we'll come back to that at a later date. It's sitting here on the desk. And then the next thing was, well, actually, this was interspersed while I was working on this. Got out of the shed briefly. And, well, you know what? I dull coated that nose gear and the aluminum parts that I'd painted with the SMS paint, so they're looking real good. Mounted the nose gear. Made one little mistake. It says to mount it before you put the fuselage halves together. And I thought, well, I can see the hole right there. There's no problem. I didn't realize this swing bar, this locking bar was actually didn't quite fit. In fact, I shot a little video. Okay, I've got the nose gear in. I made life hard on myself. It says to put this in before you put the sides together. I didn't really think that mattered, but I was wrong because there's that piece in there that the fuselage is just in the way of. So I made life harder on myself than need be, but it's in there. It cracked a small part, but it's not load bearing. That part does not actually hold any weight. It's all in the main gear. And this is probably where I'm going to put all the nose weights. From what I saw online, I'm going to need at least 8 ounces. Following that, I got it masked off, applied the putty, and to seal it up, I'm going to let that sit overnight or until next time I get to it. I decided that was enough for the day. I had a lot going on. And then I did patch up my Godzilla, the one I got from Phil Separano. And here's that. I also fixed my Godzilla versus the mutated Metaluna Mutant, the giant one, the giant kaiju versus Martian kaiju, or, this Island Earth Godzilla crossover fight. It broken, and I got it fixed. I got his radiation breath hitting the Metaluna Mutant, who seems to be unbelievably resistant to it, and got some fresh blood on there because that claw has been getting some chunks of Godzilla. And as we know, he does bleed. Who will win? So I had myself a busy little day, and this Kopro kit is it's a nice kit, but it's one of those things. If you want to do a good job, it's almost like building a biplane. You have so many tiny fiddly parts and however you decide to, whichever way you decide to go with it, it's one of those things that getting everything to sit in place firmly enough with enough glue without making a mess out of it. Yeah, you're gonna really have to slow down and take your time on that one because it's delicate. That's the word I'm looking for. It's delicate, but I think I can salvage it, make something that'll look good up on the shelf. I don't think it's ever gonna look good up close, but I thought this was. I went into this with the mentality of, oh, this is just gonna be a quick and easy little build, and oh, little did I know. Hindsight being 2020, if you want to make a showstopper out of this, you're gonna have to do it real slow. And I should know better. I do know better. But I looked at it and I misjudged it. And now I got the glue smears to show. But we're not out of the game yet. All right, guys. Hope to see everybody at the live stream tomorrow night. You take care. Well, if you're watching this on Friday, it's tomorrow night. If you're watching it tomorrow, it's Saturday night, which would be tonight if you're watching it on Saturday, but I'm making this video on Friday. And if you watch it after Saturday, then I hope you made the live stream. Oh. Okay, guys, you take care of yourselves. We'll talk at you later. And as always, model on.
He said, so anyway, the thing is that he's 3 stories deep in high school band. You ask him how his weekend went, he's explaining ancient Roman ceiling fans. One sip of coffee, suddenly we're ranking every kind of cheese. We just wanted movie time, now we're somewhere in the 90s on TV. Captain Tangent, off again, started with the weather, now we're talking about space pens. Captain Tangent, spin that thread. We were on the freeway, now we're in his cousin's shed. He goes left, he goes right. He forgets what started this ride. Captain Tangent, that's our friend. Circle to the middle, never finds the end. You say, can you pass a song? He's like, song, that's wild. Cause I once knew a guy named Hal. Next thing,